So, Miranda, how are you feeling? I mean, you must be pretty excited starring in the first Naked Brothers Band movie.
Yeah.
I don't even have to ask you if they're one of your favorite bands, because I know they're one of mine.
Nickelodeon always knew how to structure a two-part episode. You gotta make sure that the very cliffhanger of the first one is gripping enough to bring you into the second one, and there's enough of a story arc that justifies a longer story. Naked Brothers Band is a complicated situation because they started with a movie, then went to episodes, and then once they went to episodes, they actually did more specials than individual episodes, so this is going to be a really long video. But I thought that these are done really well, so I would love to jump in with you guys and talk about all the special episodes of the Naked Brothers Band. So let's dive right in. What's up, everybody? It's Johnny 2000, focusing on 2000s movies, TV, and so much more.
Thanks for buying the doofuses, Gad.
Battle of the Bands Part 1 and 2. The first part is Nat and Alex getting ready to compete in this Battle of the Bands thing. We start off the special by the kids singing about LA, something with just a green screen in the background. They're not actually in LA, and Nat and Alex talk to the camera telling them that this was just a little experiment and that they wanted to see what it'd be like to be in LA. But really it's an East versus West because these people are stuck in New York. They are children, 11 and 12, like they've got a band to uphold. And it becomes a lot more pressure on Nat and Rosalina's relationship because she has a crush on this bad boy from another band, a band that's in LA. His name is Bobby Love.
Thank you for being a fan. I'm Bobby, and I love you.
And yeah, he's just this emo guy because that's just what was trending at the time. Bad boys on motorcycles, on surfboards.
Look at this picture. Look at Bobby Love. He's riding a motorcycle, he's surfing, and drinking a latte all at once.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine like this Photoshop picture? So this guy rides around on a motorcycle, impresses Rosalina, and she has a crush on him. Nat tries to act a lot like him, be a bad boy, drink Starbucks, as you can imagine all bad boys did. He even dyes his hair. I don't know how he did that so quickly.
Woke up this morning and hello, orange. Talk about a wild night. Wait, is it morning?
Just to get her attention, and she's like really uncomfortable and she's like not believing it at all. Later, Nat realizes that this guy is not who he claims to be. He even pretends to be British. So he's not a bad boy, he's not actually British, and he really just wants to be with Rosalina.
This bogus little charity gig is gonna get the band a buttload of press.
He's not English.
Like,
which, how old is this guy? Does he understand Rosalina is also like 13? I don't know. He's talking about hitting on her in the bathroom when the boys actually overhear this. It's a big deal for them. Also funny because the documentary crew is like following them into the bathroom. Like, why wouldn't they be caught either? They actually say something to acknowledge this, and I find that hilarious. Meanwhile, Rosalina is getting upset that Nat is actually accusing him of faking his accent. Like, he's warning everybody that he's not who he says he is, and it just comes out so much worse, actually pushing Rosalina to like this guy even more. He even catches them going on a date later. He's like, oh, I gotta go woo her by singing a song to her and actually tell her I like her. He goes in full force, but then only finds out that Rosalina and this new guy are truly hitting it off. They're going on dates, he gets her a necklace, and he is mad. Of course, we got the MC guy from the VMAs episode, from the other episode, this whatever this reporter guy is, with this harsh tone of voice attacking these 12-year-olds on the live TV. Like, I don't even know what this guy's deal is or what his true job is, but both Naked Brothers Band and LA Surfers are supposed to be at the same charity event. Nat shows up and he's going against this French guy or British guy. I don't know what this guy is, honestly. And they go neck and neck, both acknowledging that he is a liar and nobody's going to believe Nat. It actually gets pushed up a notch when they start talking about the Battle of the Bands, actually pressuring both groups, East versus West, to take down one another, with both of them writing a new original song. Okay, so this episode's all about the setup, putting Nat and Rosalina's episode at higher stakes than before, having the whole Battle of the Bands rope into it, and of course the publicist taking us all the way to be continued. So crazy way, I feel like this has to be the end of the season, but then again, we just have to keep going. The stakes only get raised higher and higher for number 12, which I wish the season ended here. I don't know why we'd have the Battle of the Bands Part 2, and then 2 more additional additional episodes. It just seems unnecessary to me, but I'm not gonna get into it. It becomes a lot more controversial on Rosalina's end because she's defending this British guy, and Nat is just trashing him the whole time. She even goes as far as to quit the band because she's sick of everybody's immaturity, which is fair. She's a year older than everybody, and they're boys, so they're a lot less mature than her. I feel like she's been harping on this for a while anyway. Like, Rosalina doesn't seem super happy with the band to begin with, and Cooper comes in this episode to act as like PR and keep everybody happy, but clearly he like has a tough time doing it. Meanwhile, the dad and this woman that's the maid from the episode before are going to be the opening act, and they are horrible. I don't even think they sing a song and they think they're good. Oh my god, but it's so cute. The kids have like sodas since they're like executives, but they're still too young to drink. So once Rosalina quits, she like fully commits to the LA band. Unfortunately, he betrays her pretty quickly, saying that he went to Hogwarts, which is a bunch of hogwash, if you ask me.
That's hogwash. Hogwash.
She sees through this immediately, which who wouldn't? I mean, how is he this bad at lying? Like, why would you say you're from there? So the band LA Surfers ends up taking their song and singing it with their band, which is kind of crazy. I don't know if that like would actually happen in real life. Like, I get stealing songs happen. Going on stage to fully sing a song? I mean, the fact that Rosalina was the reason this guy got the binder is a red flag all to begin with. Like, she feels really bad and Nat comforts her, so that's good. But she really betrayed the band in a negative way. I get where she was coming from, but you know, this guy really is not that persuasive. He's not good at hiding secrets. I feel like Rosalina could have picked up on that earlier. Once they sing the song, I'm like, wow, what are these guys gonna do? You said you would have a new song. The new song already premiered. I like don't even know. Nat ends up pulling out another song out of his back pocket, don't know how, and they perform that instead. Okay, great. The British guy gets outed for having a fake accent and all the stuff he was doing, finally, and even his band is turning against him. They use a pile of balloons to scare him during his set, which it's so weird to think that this guy has a perpetual fear of balloons, but we never quite get into it. Like, it's just ridiculous. I really do like the LA song, though. I feel like it's better than you would think. In the end, the Naked Brothers band come in and save the day, and it's really sweet. Nat has like a little speech about coming all this way and singing a different song, and they sing The Girl of My Dreams, which is really sweet, especially since it's about Rosalina, but I don't think she deserves the forefront of this episode's plot, considering everything that just happened. It's a two-part episode called Sidekicks, and at first I was like super excited to jump into season 2. Like, Naked Brothers Band season 1 shocked me, cool. Now let's see what they have to offer. And oh my god, the first full like 4 minutes of this episode is Nat and Alex introducing what's about to happen, and it goes on for so long.
Let's try again. Oh, it's working! I all of a sudden feel so fasted. It's working, Nat! I feel it!
I get it, it's a flashback, but this part is just way too long. Turns out the event of these episodes are going to be 3 months prior, so okay, keep that in mind, it's important. This whole special is about going to prom or the masquerade party, 2 events happening on the same night, conveniently. And this episode does what the classic Naked Brothers band does a lot, and it's Nat Wolff struggling with masculinity. Woo! It's at least like a very accurate representation of like being his age. Because he starts out being very bitter that Rosalina is in high school and he's in middle school, and likes to remind everybody that constantly, which is kind of a insuperiority complex issue.
That's my poster. And you two just go away. I don't want to be seen talking to middle schoolers.
You do not leave.
Let's get out of here. We gotta stay.
Surprisingly comes up way too much in this episode. It even leads to the main issues that happen. It is funny though, the entire season starts off with the band having a guru. Cooper, who is the manager, is like translating what this guru is saying.
Wing feels that the heart and the soul need to converge with the waves and the shore in order for the song to take flight.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
It means this song needs dancing girls.
It's funny because it's like you wouldn't have anybody like this on your staff unless you were like overly rich. I bet even adults wouldn't understand what this guy's saying, so the fact that kids are, like, talking to him is so funny. It's like, this guy should be their babysitter. His name is Wing, which, oh, okay, and he comes back more than once, but let's not focus on Wing too much.
Wing hire Jessie as dancing girl, but Wing want more Jessie.
And he's a little too creepy to Jessie, saying that she should be more involved in the band and dancing everywhere, which makes me uncomfortable. We learned that apparently she has 2 other sisters that we just never knew about, and they all dress the same.
I didn't know you had sisters.
Of course I do, silly. Everyone has sisters.
No, they don't.
Okay, this is getting a little too cartoony for me. So Nat and Alex are trying to figure out what superheroes they're gonna be for the masquerade party, and the reason it's called sidekicks is because they inevitably end up all being sidekicks instead of superheroes, and that's kind of the common metaphor throughout the episode, which is kind of clever, especially with the side tangent of Nat feeling like he is not in high school.
But speaking of prom, Rosalina, you want to go with me?
You want to go to the prom with her. But I'm the most popular freshman in the class.
You should go with her. I'm busy anyway, but thanks.
Too busy for high school prom.
Nat is insistent that Rosalina is going to want to go to prom instead of going to the masquerade party with the band, which is supposed to be a nice thing. Like, he insists that this is, like, what she wants. And even though she tells him directly, like, hey, like, I would rather go to the masquerade ball, prom does not seem super fun. Yeah, Nat kind of disrespects her wishes because she's asked to prom, and he's like, no, she should go.
I mean, you can play the song at our party and then go to the prom.
What are you doing?
Don't know.
I don't know.
All right, cool. So I'll pick you up at 6.
And even though she says no, like, twice, Nat still insists she should go. And she just gives in at a certain point, which is not cool. That is, like, not consensual. And surprise, surprise, there's this really popular girl that's in Rosalina's high school that apparently was in one of their music videos and got too excited about it. Like, she got cut from the video, but is still advertising all across school that she's gonna be in it. And it's so petty of her. I, like, feel bad for this character. There's, like, no substance to her. I don't think anybody is this brainlessly popular. But she's a good actress. She really makes me believe that she's doing it good.
You can be my date to the prom without being the most popular senior in Amigos High School.
No thanks.
No thanks? It's not up to you. It's my decision, and I've decided that you're going to prom with me.
Why is it your decision?
The fallout of Rosalina and Nat is pretty apparent because he is just so insistent that she wants this. Such a toxic masculine thing to do. Meanwhile, Wing makes everybody in the band sit down and meditate, which is so random. How are you gonna get a bunch of kids to meditate? Oh, the Timberland brothers come back.
They're not her sisters. They're adorable Timmerman brothers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Don't tell Wayne.
You don't remember them from the first season? They're like this boy group that are pretty inferior to the Naked Brothers band, but still insist on being brought along. Jessie has like a soft spot in her heart for them, so she tries to get them to join them on everything. So I don't know. I just feel bad for them all around. Can you imagine, like, just begging these kids to be on your tour? Nat approaches Rosalina only to find out that she is not happy that she has to go to prom, even though Nat insists everybody wants to go to prom. It's like, come on, Nat, at least just listen to her for like 2 seconds. So they're at odds with each other throughout this, which I think is completely fair. I honestly think Nat should just give up and apologize a lot quicker, but he seems to be like teetering the line the entire time with her.
Hey, what's up, man?
Wake up, Wing! We need your hearts no matter if someone doesn't think it's very important. Get your instruments!
The episode ends with Nat being told he's going to have to go to prom with the popular girl. So they're both going to end up going to prom and both go to the masquerade party, so it's kind of complicated for both of them. Weird way to end the first part of this 2-part episode, but at least it's a cliffhanger and it doesn't start the way the last episode started.
Working, Nat! I feel it!
Part 2 is surprisingly really funny. It starts with the principal of the high school, and he's like promoting this graffiti that's on the wall, because he's like, this is a part of our legacy, and it's just because he went to high school at this time, and he's like super into it, which is so funny. And it ends up being a part of the plot later, so it's not random.
See what they wrote about me back then? Put in Joe Schmoke and watch the other team croak.
Kasim has like a C or D plot. I don't know. He just basically asked 4 girls to prom to the masquerade ball, and apparently they all said yes, so he's kind of screwed, and they're like chasing him throughout this episode.
Have you guys seen Kasim? What? Yeah, he's just taking a moment to think. Where? Right back here. Why'd you tell him I was here?
You said you weren't hiding.
Which is so funny. At least it's not just Nat running around. Meanwhile, Rosalina is talking to the new guy that's going to be taking her to the prom, and they don't even get along that well. I don't know why she's going with him. Oh wait, I do know why, because Nat insisted. And this guy is just so clueless, he's just so focused on the highlights in his hair. Meanwhile, Nat questions why he even has to go to prom with this popular girl, and she's like, because it doesn't matter that you're in middle school because you're a rock star. And it's like, why can't he see that about himself and not be so insecure about being in middle school versus Rosalina?
You know, if you weren't famous, I would never speak to you again. Promise?
They get their costumes ready for the masquerade party, and it's a really cute sequence of everybody just hanging out around the house. And I kind of like the way they just vibe around. It definitely is very 2000s of them to skateboard throughout the house. Nat is trying on this new suit, which is very clearly owned by his dad's, and it's just so funny. When Nat picks up his date, of course she has to acknowledge that the cameras are there, which is so funny. I can't believe that it's just normal Nat walks around with this adult camera crew everywhere. And then later we find out that Thomas and David actually erased the graffiti off the wall as an act of graffiti itself. Like, that's apparently the law-breaking thing they do. And this actually comes back to bite them, so it's not like they're doing anything good. Everybody's dressed in their sidekick costumes, and I don't know, I feel like we kind of dropped that theme, honestly. Rosalina finally goes out with the guy.
My dad wanted to take pictures. It's like my first prom and all.
Pictures.
And apparently, Nat and Alex's dad is the entertainment at the masquerade dance, which is kind of crazy. Cooper is still going out with this girl from the first season. She basically is a manager for another band, and the two, like, hit it off, which is so funny because, of course, they're, like, just both businessy. Meanwhile, Jessie and her 2 sisters are trying to figure out who's gonna dance with the Timberland brothers, and this is not even a plot. It just kind of is a quick conversation. We never even go anywhere with her sisters. Like, it's confusing to me. The popular girl is actually planning on premiering the Naked Brothers Band music video at the prom, which I do not think is possible. I can't believe the prom committee would just let that happen, but whatever.
I always tell her, make them golden, because I'm the golden boy.
Nat and Rosalina seem to leave the past behind them and start making up already until everybody's interrupted by the principal stopping everything. Yeah, the whole festivities are canceled until they figure out who erased the graffiti.
The graffiti in the boys' bathroom has been erased. We will stop all festivities.
And it's so funny that it's treated like a true crime. He calls it an egregious act of destruction, which I think is pulling the trigger a little bit too much. But he insists everybody stops dancing, having a good time, and everybody's backpacks are checked, which I don't know why they would bring their backpacks to a dance, but whatever. Yeah, so Thomas and David are pretty screwed here, and they're hiding in the balcony the whole time. Meanwhile, they're gonna be caught any minute. Rosalina and Nat finally make up, and he gives her this corsage that he got for the popular girl, but he didn't end up giving to her. Later, they end up releasing the music video, and it turns out this girl, Patrice, re-edited the entire video to add scenes with her in it, and that is so funny. I don't know why I love this character already.
Long distance relationships will kill you. They'll kill you, baby.
The fact that she has the gall to put herself in the video and then also stand on stage alongside it and sing along, this is crossing a line. So Nat and Rosalina get ready for their own party, both dressing up as sidekicks, and she dresses up as the sidekick to the sidekick. I don't know. They both go to perform I Don't Want to Go to School at the masquerade ball, which is nice because that's actually where they ended up wanting to be. Of course, the principal helps them rewrite the graffiti from earlier, and that's just such a ridiculous side plot that I can't believe they incorporated. All around, everybody at the prom ends up going to the middle school dance instead, which I do not believe for one second that they would think this was cool enough to go to. Of course, the episode ends very positively. I just don't know how to feel about it because it's like such a crazy plot. But at least it makes up for the very beginning where they're just talking to us for 3 minutes. That just bothers me so much.
3 months ago.
Naked Brothers Band is rolling to New Orleans for their biggest concert ever.
Guys, we just oversold the Superdome, the largest venue we've ever sold.
So why is everybody talking about
Polar bear. Polar bears, polar bears.
Say what?
We're gonna raise big money for the polar bears.
on June 6th? One band will rock the city.
Come on, guys, it's madness out there.
One couple will take the plunge.
Are they gonna smooch now?
And one boy just might save the planet.
Whoa, buses are heavy.
Can they get the girl that saved the world? Find out when the Naked Brothers Band stars in Polar Bears, a brand new movie with 4 new songs, premiering Friday, June 6th at 8, only on Nick.
We will not rest until our work is done. Well, I just came to tell you Anita's making pancakes and grits. Let's go.
The season, The Polar Bears. So the 2-part season finale is called The Polar Bears, and it actually starts with everybody reading a magazine about the flaws that Nat Wolff has.
Yes! He slurps his soup.
I do not.
Yes, you do, Nat.
Yes, you do. I heard you doing it just a minute ago.
Which is funny because in New Jersey, it's actually illegal to slurp soup. Look it up. I bet you're gonna be wrong. Which this guy's not asking for all this negativity. He's like just singing in the band, and I feel like he is the target for everyone and everything at this point. Jesse is giving everybody on the tour bus etiquette lessons, like with a nice table, which I've never seen done on a tour bus. What a crazy concept. At least she's like being a responsible adult this time, like kind of, and teaches everybody that as long as you say no offense, nobody is going to get offended, which, oh my god, what a 2000s mentality, guys. I didn't realize this was such an environmentally friendly episode, and to be a 2-parter, even funnier. So Alex learns that the polar bears are suffering and becomes super fixated on like helping them, which is actually kind of sweet. Nat like suggests they give all their proceeds to the next concert, the environment, to actually make this better for the polar bears, and that's very sweet.
What are you doing?
That. I need these for my Save the Polar Bears thing.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Cause I'm recycling them. But we haven't even read them, Alex.
This leads Alex to being super environmental and actually taking everybody's magazines and just recycling things for no reason, which is actually kind of a funny concept. They're still on this city tour, I guess. So they end up meeting up with Sonny, which is kind of cool that he's at the next venue, and Sonny brings their twin, which is crazy because this girl looks nothing alike them, but apparently her and Nat share a lot of commonalities. So she's also a Sagittarius, I assume. They say that their moms knew each other, and that's another hint of lore to drop on us. I didn't realize this was relevant still. There's a little girl named Big L, and she is obsessed with Santa Claus, like making her mom decorate all year long for this, and even has like a full-on tantrum when they try to break it to her that it's only around Christmas. This is low-key me, though.
No, he's coming soon.
Well, we got a little ways to go there, Big L. It's still summertime.
Santa Claus is coming soon! Santa Claus is coming soon, soon, soon!
So Rosalina supposedly gets jealous again, but she's like, me and Nat are just friends. Says it to him, and he's like heartbroken. But it's low-key kind of fair because, yeah, he's hanging out with another girl, and also they've never really properly went on a date. So Nat, unless you're gonna ask her out. So later, Nat and this girl, Grace, are talking about how guys can be just friends, and it's very sweet, actually, until Rosalina walks in, and they start wrestling. I don't know why they wrestle out of nowhere, but it's kind of ridiculous. If I were Rosalina, I'd be really sad. She did say they were just friends, so yeah. Psalm has a crush on Grace, so it looks like it's gonna work out in the long run, but Rosalina's still kind of stressed about it. So Grace and Big L reveal that their house was like taken away a long time ago because of the environment, and it's kind of depressing to think about. And they're like, yeah, it's okay, we live on a trailer like you guys. And it's like, oh no. That explains why she's so obsessed with Santa. This is like almost like a trauma response. What a deep and dark plot to have. I feel so bad for this little girl. And we get a really sad montage of them actually driving through homes that have been destroyed, and oh my god, this is so depressing. I feel so bad, but at least like Alex and Nat are like empowered by these situations to like make a change. I guess that's like the positive part of this episode. This is pretty unique that I've never seen a kids show ever do, like show this kind of destruction and talk about it so positively. They go to Grace's house and they see how she's actually living, but at least these kids learn their manners. They definitely have to.
Betty used to love candlelight dinners. She loved them.
Dad.
Now, Sonny, you pull yourself together right this minute.
Yeah, Dad.
So Rosalina is the wing woman for Kasim. We're trying to get Grace to be into him, which I think Grace has bigger fish to fry right now, Rosalina. Can you just give him a break?
You know, he's a bad boy, real bad, and polite too, kind of a mixture of both. He's everything a girl could wish for.
So Grace starts getting jealous of Qasim and Rosalina, and her and Nat pretty much turn on them, which is fair, they're being really suspicious. It's so funny because Rosalina being the wing woman, Grace just assumes that she has a crush on him, which, oh my god, Nat, I would be heartbroken too. Rosalina tells him to be like a bad boy, and he pinches her butt, which I did not see coming, and you cannot do that on television. That's very disrespectful. Qasim and Nat get into a physical altercation, which I did not see coming, and then Alex starts turning his back on the bus because it's bad for the environment. Oh my god, I did not expect that to be the twist. Alex treats this whole thing like a huge betrayal, which is actually so funny.
I'm gonna go over there, try to tip the bus over, and all the gas should go in that bucket.
For some reason, Nat knows what siphoning is, which I didn't even know. It's like when you pull gas out of a bus, and he's claiming to do that and even wants to tip over the bus. What the heck, Alex? Sonny sees a cricket on his nose one morning and assumes it's Betty, which means he's not over that breakup. Oh my god, this guy's an insane person. The bald publicist comes back again to trash Nat about slurping soup on television, and they're like, he is gonna have some bad manners, which is so funny because it's like a whole benefit event, and that would be offensive, I guess? Grace and Nat wrestle once again, only to be confused by Qasim and Rosalina. Oh my gosh, why does this keep happening? It's kind of crazy we're having like these first world problems, like drama between Nat and Rosalina, while there's all this like wreckage and what's actually going on in the world. I can't tell if it's a metaphor or just really, really bad timing. Cooper tells the crew that they actually oversold the Superdome, so they're gonna make a lot of money for the polar bears. Ooh, that's exciting. Cooper suggests that they do a huge press conference, which was actually the center of conflict in the Battle of the Bands episode, so I hope it goes well this time, honestly.
Then this is gonna sound really ridiculous.
What? I mean, really silly. No, I think she stopped liking me when she saw how bad my table manners were.
Big L and Grace follow them onto the bus, and oh, Alex has a really fire white outfit. I don't know why, it's really cool. So Alex is still refusing to take the bus, so they're like, we're gonna walk to the venue, which is kind of insane. I don't know why anybody's letting them do that. And then Qasim and Rosalina have another moment together, only to make Nat super angry. So Nat is upset about the whole Rosalina situation, gets advice from Alex, who is just like, you guys weren't even together, so technically you didn't steal your girl. Oof, that's kind of tea. So they're doing this whole press conference, and things get way out of hand by like them as a concert being like, we're gonna be bigger than Santa Claus, which I don't know why they're claiming that, but the reporters get really angry at them. I don't even know why they're getting angry. Like nobody cares that much about any of this stuff.
Picture, he means our picture on that calendar. Only because it's August, I mean by December, Santa's gonna be way bigger. Santa's gonna be huge by December.
Are you now insulting Santa's weight?
Are you calling Santa a big fatty, a big tub of lard?
I'm not calling him a big tub of lard.
You called Santa a big fat blubber belly?
I'm not saying that Santa's a big fat blubber belly.
So now instead of being chased by a bunch of girls, they're being chased by reporters. But honestly, this is like one of the funniest scenes in the entire series. I can't believe they even like have this conversation. The reporters are really funny actors. Jessie is relying on her manner skills to stop all the publicists who show up at Anita's trailer, which is so surprising. I guess they just assume they're gonna stop all the drama from going down. And it seems like they're all trying to cancel the Naked Brothers band for hating Santa, which I can't believe canceling was even happening back then, but yeah, this is definitely a reason.
Look, I like
That's
Alex.
George Lopez. He'll
All
say
right,
something nice
he's a
about
friend
you.
of mine. But my daughter Mayan is burning his CDs as we speak.
George Lopez has to make yet another appearance, which is super surprising, and he speaks out against Alex, which actually kind of hurts. Yeah, so they're all like calling him a Santa basher. Was not expecting this turnaround. And George Lopez mentions his daughter Mayan too, which is his real daughter in real life. Crazy. The little girl Big L ends up turning her back on Alex too because of the Santa situation, which I was not expecting. And yeah, so this gets really ugly really fast, but it's a funny argument.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
Oh, I'm not a liar, liar, pants on fire.
You don't love Santa. You lied, your pants on fire.
I didn't pants on fire.
The curse of Santa is upon you.
Then they have another really depressing song montage of Alex being sad, and it seems like he's dying and drinking himself to death because he drinks a bunch of milk, and it's like, what the heck is this supposed to represent? It's not till like the very last minute of this whole special that Grace overhears Qasim talking to Big L and learns that this was all a huge miscommunication. And this is the scene where the whole thing ends. I don't think we got a resolution introduction to Rosalina at all. I don't know. This has to be like a glitch because there's no credits, there's nothing. It's just a 54-minute episode, and I don't know what's going on. Okay, so yeah, I did some reporting, and it looks like this is completely cut short. This is supposed to be an hour and 8 minutes, so 12 of the minutes were actually cut out of the Paramount Plus release. What is going on with this, guys? Yeah, so they end up finally making up Rosalina, Psalm, and Grace, and then they have the super cool charity dinner.
All he wanted to do was tell you that he was giving all his money to save the polar bears' homes. The polar bears are Santa's neighbors. Santa loves them, and he loves Alex too.
Which actually has them all in tuxedos, and it's finally bringing the manners stuff to light, which is kind of cool. So they perform for the final group of people, and then they get cut off. Apparently, they're not even allowed to.
There is no music in the Grand Ballroom after 2300 hours.
But our concert was canceled and we came all this way to play music for the people of New Orleans.
The band ends their world tour on a super positive note with actually raising a lot of money for the polar bears, and everybody's celebrating Santa Claus for some odd reason. I mean, I guess there's a connection between polar bears and Santa Claus, but I don't know, I'm just losing a lot of this metaphor, honestly. But then the final song of this special, it makes it so much more exciting because it feels like a full movie, like the way they conclude everything. And even though we had a lot of drama, a lot of environmental issues, like it all came back to a full circle moment, and I really like that. I really like that this was a formal ending, and I could always remember the commercials for this. I never quite knew what this Polar Bear special was about, but looking back on it, yeah, it was definitely a fun time talking about a lot of interesting things. I don't feel super resolved about everything, but you know what? That's what the third season's for, isn't it, everybody? The whole special was come up with by the siblings' mother, Polly Draper, who, you know, the series creator and showrunner, directed this too, and she said it's because Nat and Alex genuinely had a realization moment after they watched the movie An Inconvenient Truth, and even Alex started refusing to take baths, and it's just ridiculous. So then they ended up turning this into the movie to get kids to recycle and think about polar bears and the environment, which is why it's cool that they actually filmed in New Orleans, Louisiana, where the boy's father, Michael Wolff, was born. And a scene in the film even has Alex saying, "We're bigger than Santa Claus," which lampoons John Lennon's comment about the Beatles being more popular than Jesus, which is kind of a crazy claim. Poor Rosalina is the last thing I'm gonna say, because she is the one that's truly gypped throughout the Naked Brothers. So season 3 starts off a little differently. There's a little bit more priorities for the boys this time around, especially considering they're making a movie. Yeah, a musical movie about the Naked Brothers band. Kinda cool. Honestly, it's pretty much a mystery how this plays out, which is ironic, because the episode's called Mystery Girl, when really the movie's the biggest mystery to me.
Come on, are you coming? Come on, closer. 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 Closer.
We start out with Nat and Alex introducing the whole show, and they are significantly older than they were in the last season. I feel like season 2 they grew up the most, but now they're just older, like teens barely. You could tell because Nat is dating Rosalina, and they're finally not awkward enough to establish that it's a relationship. The choreographer's kind of crazy. She only speaks through dance movements, and honestly it's funny. She doesn't really play an important role, but I thought she was worth mentioning.
I have no interest in speaking to you. My dances speak for themselves.
This for me is how I confirm that it is in fact a musical movie they are filming, with the Naked Brothers band songs, which actually are a lot better than I remember, especially in this season. We have 2 new characters, the director and his assistant, which kind of reminds me of the guy that was in the past couple seasons, but these guys are focused on the movie, so it's a pretty simple transition to be a bigger endeavor.
I don't want to hear it. There is nothing funny about art, and I am an artist.
Funny about art.
They're super pretentious with literally only the film in mind, and honestly, it's cool that the whole theme is around a set and this filming production because it adds a lot of drama. It's just so funny that they always have to have an adult that's kind of condescending to them, or a mutual enemy, so that way the kids can always get along. I noticed that about this show.
Excuse me, young lady. Have you been body snatched? I need to go spread my wings and have the time of my life. Let's try doing it like a living human being this time.
I do a read-through before the movie, and the director in particular is really bothered by the fact that Nat and Rosalina are partners in real life, because Nat's the main character of the movie, and Rosalina doesn't fit the role, so they kind of like avoid giving it to her, which is crazy to me. Nat is like all enthusiastic about her, but doesn't really know how to defend her, which is kind of stressful. Rosalina can't even act, which is so funny. She like flaps her hands, and I don't even believe somebody's this incapable of acting.
I have something to tell you.
Okay, are we trying to fly? Then why are you flapping your arms around like that?
Attitude toward Rosalina's character in this season so far is off to a pretty rocky start, as like they make fun of her a lot. They really put her down when Nat is the only one that kind of is a safe space for her, and yeah, it's not a good look, especially considering everything the actor came out about talking with this show. He tells them they have to break up immediately, which is actually really funny that he has the gall to think he can control these two teenagers' lives when really they're not even his kids. I like that we got all the bandmates here, like everybody has a script in hand, and it feels like everybody's a part of this whole thing.
Yeah, she's so cool. She's a talented little spud. Shrub. I'm a talented little shrub.
She's a talented little shrub. In the B-plot, Alex is heavily involved, and he is jealous because Juanita, which is this girl he has a crush on, it's like a skateboarding friend, she's kind of a tomboy, she wants to be a part of the new musical. She wants to be the love interest for Alex, which actually makes him really uncomfortable, and he spends a lot of this two-part episode avoiding her or uncomfortable with the fact that she's trying to be seen as more than a friend, and even she's like not into the idea of them being together. She just wants to try out for this opportunity, which makes a lot of sense.
We're supposed to go skating at the South Street Seaport.
Oh, he's right there under the piano.
What are you doing? Nothing.
But you know Alex, he's like super neurotic and can occasionally try to control things just to like get his way, and he's just so funny. Everybody in their life is actually auditioning for a part in this movie, which is really sweet. I wish they would just give it to them. Like the dad is auditioning for the father.
Daniel and Oliver, I'm off on a business trip. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Their babysitter Jessie can't sing, which is really stressful until she reveals that it's only because she's not underwater like a shower would be. And it's like, come on, you can only sing good under the shower? Crazy, crazy concept. Meanwhile, we catch the boys in the band, which is actually fun. I like it when they're incorporated in the B-plot, and they're trying to figure out who this mystery girl is planning on being. Nat wants Rosalina. Obviously, there's a bunch of actresses coming to the door, which, crazy, there's like a grown woman.
What are you doing here?
Cooper, these boys was fixing to break into your office, but I stopped them. Now, can I have a part in your movie?
Why would you want to be seen with Nat Wolff, the 13-year-old? It's kind of insane to me. They finally get into rehearsals, and it's starting to feel like a school play in nature. Meanwhile, Rosalina herself is keeping a secret from Nat. She's acting all normal, but she and Cooper have something quiet going on, and I don't know what it is. All we know is that she almost doesn't mind if she doesn't get the part, which is kind of suspicious.
I feel like you have a secret that's gonna tear us apart.
Later, in order to find out the mystery girl, they literally tie Cooper up and question him, which actually is super funny. I can't believe how grown everybody starts getting throughout this season, honestly.
How old is she?
How am I supposed to nod to that?
Right. Is she 1 year old? 2 years old? 3 years old?
This is gonna take forever.
We get a glimpse into the actual movie being filmed as Nat walks down this preppy high school hallway, and it's kind of cool that, like, this is the theme, and Rosalina's, like, in her uniform, and so is he, and the song is so good. I can't believe how strong this is to start. Later, when Nat and Cooper are, like, hanging out and playing basketball, Cooper's like, you need to talk to Rosalina, and he does not know why, and honestly, I'm scared at this point, especially since it's only the first part of a two-part episode. Like, what could be going on? He finds out later that Rosalina is actually going to go on a musical cruise where she is going to be playing her instrument professionally, and, you know, he should be happy for her, but he's really caught off guard and upset that she didn't tell him, which I would be too. This actually works acting-wise for them in the scene, which is not fun. It just shows that you have to be toxic or go through bad things just to be looking good as an actor. Yeah, that's crossing a line with me.
Goodbye, Daniel. Goodbye, Rosalina. And cut.
print and perfection.
So that's when we cross over into the second part of Mystery Girl. And you'll never believe who became a part of this.
Beautiful and talented Miranda Cosgrove has been juggling her busy schedule on her hit television series to make music movie magic with the Naked Brothers Band.
Yeah,
I don't even have to ask you if they're one of your favorite bands, because I know they're one of mine. But tell me honestly, is Rosalina jealous of you? We've heard rumors.
Miranda Cosgrove. Yeah, she is the Mystery Girl. So the boys, I guess, aren't looking to figure out who it is now, but having Miranda jump in on all the conflict is super exciting. I love iCarly, so obviously this is like a cool opportunity to see her again. Meanwhile, the principal comes back. He's competing against the dad and the bodyguard for the same role as the kid's dad, which is so awkward, and I find it really funny.
Okay, Daniel and Oliver, I'm off on a business trip. Goodbye. May the best man win.
Alex is trying to wrap his head around the idea that Juanita is going to be the main part, and honestly, he doesn't make a lot of steps in the changing direction for that, so whatever. Nat meets Miranda Cosgrove, and they actually have a pretty good connection, but they try to deny it because, you know, Nat is with Rosalina and trying to maintain that relationship. They make up on the fact that she's moving, and when they have a conversation about the whole thing, and he's finally taller than her, oh my god, look how long that took.
I'm happy for you, okay? It's just really infuriating that you didn't tell me until 2 days ago.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I couldn't tell you before because I needed time on my own to figure out what I was gonna do.
And it ends up in another fight, which actually only pushes Nat and Miranda closer, which you do not expect. They use a photo of her from the first season of iCarly, and it is so cringe. Like, it's like the 2000s way of Photoshop, but it's horrible. Honestly, it looks like one of my thumbnails. Hate to throw shade at myself, but Johnny 2000, you are not working out. They film one of the scenes that Miranda's a part of, and there's a lot of chemistry. It's very sweet, but yeah, it's all influenced by the fact that the paparazzi are trying to push them together. It makes them super uncomfortable, and the fact that Nat and Rosalina are still fighting is not going to be good.
Yes, you did. I'm sure of it.
I didn't do anything wrong.
I bet you weren't happy enough for it.
I was plenty happy.
Plenty happy or Mondo happy?
Alex tries to stop the awkwardness by asking if him and Juanita don't need to kiss in the movie, and the director doesn't seem to even remember a kiss, so this doesn't feel like a plot at all.
Juanita and I have talked it over, and we'd rather not kiss.
Kiss?
Yeah. And we both have minty fresh breath. If you're wondering, that's not it.
Nat kisses Miranda in the scene, and it makes him feel really awkward and uncomfortable, so he goes to approach Rosalina, only to be bothered by more paparazzi. Ugh, I feel bad for them. But honestly, some stuff happens in this season that actually makes it more ridiculous on Rosalina's end because of all this, but we'll get into that later. We get I Don't Want to Go to School in a huge musical number that would have been in the movie, but oh my god, I want to see this movie. It's so cool the way it plays out.
Face again, I don't wanna go to school every morning. I don't wanna go to school. I don't wanna go to school.
Miranda and Nat find each other on top of the building in New York, and yeah, they have a really sweet moment while Nat is just trying to grapple with the fact that she's going to be going away for a while, and he needs to actually be happy for her. It's a huge opportunity, and just because he's the lead singer of a band doesn't mean she can't be big in the music industry. Well, it's definitely a 2008 problem to have. It's funny because this feels like it's supposed to promote iCarly when the Naked Brothers Band had gone on for 3 years by this point, but then the fact that iCarly outlasted it and got a reboot means that, like, it's probably promoting Nat and Alex way more than it did iCarly. Like, this is the best thing to happen to the Naked Brothers Band, and honestly, it looks like crazy in retrospect.
The actors have started a real riot.
So Nat decides to make a big romantic gesture to make sure that she leaves on a positive note with their relationship, which would not actually happen in terms of being a 13-year-old boy. Like, how would he get this piano, all these instruments into the street? I think they'll need permits. Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes into this, and I can't believe how long it takes. But yeah, she comes down, and it's really sweet. I'm definitely liking how Nat is handling the situation, even if it's not how a 13-year-old would handle it. It's cool to see the promotion of, like, treating some somebody like this. Like, it's definitely a very positive vibe.
Botswana, Italy, Spain, France, New Zealand, Germany, Greece, Turkey, Poland.
So yeah, all around, Mystery Girl is a huge departure from the second season's road trip. Like, the characters are a lot different, they're older, and Rosalina is a more important part of Nat's life, just in time for her to be leaving for a cruise, which is so sad to think about, but at least, you know, Nat has the movie to focus on, and hopefully we'll see more of Miranda, but I don't know, all around I was just super surprised with how this played out. I don't remember anything from the third season. I must have outgrown it at this point.
Yeah, well, if you don't know the difference between a moi and a moi, what is the difference? I don't know. Fine, how about I go kiss some French vegetarian girl in a weird bathing suit? Then you'll know how it feels.
We jump into a second two-part episode immediately after this first one, and honestly, I remember the promos for this way back when it came out in Nickelodeon. It's called Operation Mojo, and we actually deal with a lot of stuff I never thought we would worry about on the Naked Brothers Band show, in a good way, like not a negative way. It takes place right after Rosalina leaves, and yeah, Nat is having a hard time dealing with it. We see Alex and Juanita enjoying cotton candy in the music video, and yeah, it reminds you that these kids are really having a good time putting a movie together. They talk about this looping session where they're trying to get voices for the movie, and it's so real how they actually reference the entertainment industry so often.
When they're making a movie, there can be noise over the actors' lines for things like traffic. Or someone talking while you talk.
But yeah, Rosalina's gone, and Nat is having a hard time dealing with it, with immediately being bothered by the sound engineer, which, by the way, crossing a line, I don't know why the sound engineer has a firm opinion on Nat's relationship, but he's like, I could see Rosalina dating somebody in this news article.
For my listeners at home who obviously can't see this, I have here a picture of Rosalina snogging with the French piano prodigy and well-known vegetarian, Michel Roquefort.
The band kind of backs Nat up until they see the picture too. They're like, this is way too real. And honestly, yeah, it is too real. In the first special, when Nat was like badly photoshopped on the cover, that was one thing, but this is full on, like, Rosalina is kissing another person. Oh my gosh. Everybody tries to comfort Nat and like try to tell him that there's no reason to freak out, when really it is. There's a huge reason to freak out. Just bad timing, because Rosalina comes in to catch up with him right then and there. The band kind of treats her disrespectfully, and honestly, it's just a whole bunch of miscommunication.
Older, handsomer, and better piano players than Nat?
What? Nothing.
In the same way it was in the last special of the second season, Polar Bears, when Nat and Rosalina just kept jumping on opposite sides. Like, I wasn't expecting this to come back again. But it's so interesting to see that they're clearly in a relationship and trying to maintain that one-on-one thing, because before they've never really solidified anything. It's so interesting to see them like try to connect like this.
The picture, the French waters, the moi on the cheek, so history. It's a miracle! My commercial's back on! It's a sign!
So Nat starts going through midlife crisis, staying up super late till 2 a.m. watching commercials where he's like trying to buy a massage chair. What in the world? Yeah, he's going through it, and I love it when there's like a breakup arc. I feel like those are really interesting in TV shows. They go to the looping booth and even have to dub over a scene with him and Rosalina, which is so much torture, especially if you're going through a breakup with this exact person. Yeah, Nat is going through a lot.
I feel like you have a secret. A secret that's gonna tear us apart. I'm leaving you, Dana. I know you are! For that French dude!
It sucks that Miranda's not back. I thought she would be, but she's not. Right in the middle of the session, Rosalina calls Nat, only to make him spiral further. It turns out this was a kiss, and this is a big argument between the two. I'm actually confused on how they're actually gonna get over this, because this is a big deal. Like, your girlfriend kissing another person, like, how do you excuse that? The band tried to get Nat off his butt to finish this movie, which is so cool that, like, the plot line of the movie is so consistent throughout this so far. Like, I definitely want to see this musical. He's, like, eating celery in his room. It's like, what is the band gonna do to get him back on his mojo?
Chapter 1. Purge the environment. So she dumped you. Here's what you do first. Get rid of all the things that remind you of the person who you broke up with. As soon as you do this, bang! You're over her.
Alex thinks he needs to purge the environment because that's like helpful in a breakup, and he just takes a bat and breaks stuff, which is kind of not reasonable. Come on, Alex, relax. And again, Nat shouldn't have pictures of Rosalina as his screensaver on his computer. I can't believe he can even afford a computer at this age. It's a really wholesome musical montage when Alex is trying to get Nat back in his flow. Like, they try boxing, they try all this different stuff, and the song is pretty good too. The fact that it's not a part of the whole movie musical is astonishing to me. I feel like they could have made this more a part of the main plot, but okay, whatever. He writes Rosalina in the chair, which I actually find really funny. I would have done this at this age too. Breakups were always hard for me. I feel like it took like weeks to months to actually get over something like this.
My brother prepared to be healed. We're going on a dudecation.
So I would just like watch TV. Not sure what you guys did when you had breakups or like how you emotionally coped, but I would watch TV and eat a lot of food. That's just me. This book, it's like getting through breakups for dummies, and it's so funny that Alex uses this as his Bible for like the whole thing. He gathers the entire group together and suggests going on a camping trip to get him his mojo back.
No conveniences, no comforts.
No cameras.
We battle the elements, and if we survive, we prove to ourselves that we can handle anything. Right, Nat?
My favorite part is the fact that they actually do this behind Nat's back. They don't tell him they're going to be taking him on a trip. Literally everybody but him knows this is happening. And this is a very thoughtful gesture from his family. Like, I feel like it takes a lot of love to take somebody who's going through something and, like, rearrange your schedules to help them with it. Like, it's very sweet in nature.
You think I'd go out to the woods with a guy who's lost his mojo? No.
So what's your plan then?
It involves all of you.
What do we do?
Speaking of in nature, yeah, they just end up in nature by the end of this episode, and it's all about camping from now on. Whoa. Yeah, they're just trying to get Nat back to his former self, which is very, very thoughtful. Although what they say is camping is barely camping. They literally bring all the stuff they would use at Nat and Alex's house and just put it in a tent, like with the bodyguard there. Like, everybody's just chilling out, nothing to do with nature, like not camping. They're glamping, as the kids say. Glamping is when it's like a really fancy version of camping where you actually bring all your amenities. Yeah, that's not always roughing it to me.
It's the massage chair that Nat ordered. It came just after you guys left.
I got next.
Didn't me?
We start off the second part with something we actually set up at the very end of this first part. Alex has a fake snake, and it turns out he's going to stage a situation in which Nat could be the hero to get his mojo back. And yeah, it starts out being really freaky. Like, in the night, Alex is being cornered by a snake, and Nat comes in to save the day. But he doesn't get excited about this. He gets scared. It traumatizes him in a way. So Alex has more backup plans. We're not super worried about it. I think he's talking about having a whole bear suit, which requires a volunteer, and of course nobody wants to do that. They're all obsessed with this new massage chair that Nat bought, which, by the way, yeah, the same one he had a midlife crisis staying up all night watching TV. That's the chair he bought. Why, Nat? Kasim's plan is to hook Nat up with a new girl, which is kind of funny. It's this girl that's following him around.
You never introduced me to him, Kasim.
That's because you fit the profile of a stalker.
Which I don't know why he's trying to pawn off her to somebody else, but it is funny that they're trying with this. So Thomas gets in the giant bear suit, and Alex acts out this entire thing, pretending he was just in the bathroom, which is very, very fake. The way Nat holds his brother's face does not look like the way a brother would hold another brother's face. I feel like it's just way too sweet, and Nat would not be like that. Sorry, just had to point that out. Meanwhile, it's barely a B-plot, but Jesse, the babysitter, is challenging everybody to a ping pong tournament, which takes place on the campsite. I don't know how that has to do with camping, but okay, keep doing it. So they finally utilize this girl to set her up and get Nat and her together, which is so funny. There's a little musical montage where him and Rosalina are missing each other, and honestly, it's pretty depressing of a montage. He manages to get Nat to save this girl. But you know what? They do not have the connection you would think they would. So Nat is convinced he got his mojo back, and it feels like the resolve of the episode is bound to happen, thank God. Until no, yeah, late at night, Nat realizes that Alex and everybody at this group set up the whole operation.
Game, I win! What? What are you all doing here?
So he gets furious and confronts everybody, which I don't even think they're supposed to be awake. They were sleeping 2 seconds ago. He confronts them and he's like, you guys should not lie to me. Like, I really needed your help. And he just feels betrayed.
You should show your love by supporting them, not lying to them.
I didn't lie to you, Nat.
Excuse me, who is this?
Someone who loves you with all my heart.
Oh, no.
So they're packing up and leaving, and it's kind of bittersweet because they haven't gone back to be friends yet. Later, a actual snake comes into the tent, and Nat just thinks this is a false alarm again, which I find hilarious. So this bittersweet moment is interrupted when he actually uses his real courage to stop the snake and saves everybody in return.
It's real! It's real! I promise! Oh, look, the real little snake. What did you put the batteries in this thing?
Hey, at least we got a happy ending. He gets his mojo back and everything is positive, leading Operation Mojo to come to a conclusion. Oh, wait, nope. Rosalina visits Nat in the looping room, which means she's still a part of the show. Okay, so despite being like on the road, she still comes back every now and then, just in time conveniently for the plots, which I'm having a hard time believing, but I'm gonna give them the suspense of disbelief. They end up kissing and making up, and yeah, it turns out this is not gonna get between them, even though she kissed a French guy and didn't really defend it. I don't know, all of it is just a little confusing for me, but hey, if they're together, they're together. Good for them.
But it won't happen again.
Well, I hope not, but I can't make myself crazy about worrying about it.
Operation Mojo all around isn't as good as like the opening 2-part episode, but at least it's like about a breakup and him overcoming it, and I like these double episodes. They surprise me with how much they accomplish in the length they're given. I just feel like Nat needs to be a little bit more grateful to his friends for everything they've done for him in these episodes, but hey, that's just what going through a breakup is. You're kind of blindsided by reality and focused on your own emotions, which is definitely kind of a handicap in this sense.
On March 14th, just when the Naked Brothers Band is finally back together,
Welcome back, our world traveler of the band.
everything falls apart.
Whoa, whoa. Nat. Are you breaking up with me or the band?
Both, I guess.
Now, in a brand new movie, the search is on,
I'm ready to find a new bass player.
and the competition begins.
A nationwide search for the new bass player.
Who will replace Rosalina? Find out in the world premiere of a brand new Naked Brothers movie, Naked Idol, Saturday, March 14th at 8, only on Nick.
So the next 2 episodes are both 2-parters, and I mean like 4 episodes that continuously take after one another. And honestly, I don't know why they just didn't make the show serial at this point. Like, just have every episode lead into the next. Like, there's just a bunch of random specials breaking up these, but this is just interesting. So it's called Naked Idol. Yeah, I don't really want to see what this is about to be about, but I know it's not actually naked, okay? I'm gonna take that off my plate. These all definitely put Nat in a really complicated position, as if he weren't in the other 2-part episodes, but I'm telling you, this goes so much further. We start the episode with Alex visiting Nat in the bathroom. He's shaving for the first time. It's like a big monumental moment, so he's gonna become a man now.
Please, I gotta get in. I just really have to go to the bathroom.
Okay, just a second. There it is. Is it everything you dreamed of?
Yes, 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 yes.
He ends up even getting cologne from Rosalina that smells like dog pee. It actually doesn't, but like it's supposed to make your own smell significant, and apparently he smells like dog pee. So funny. This actually comes up later, but you know, get ready for it. So Rosalina and Nat are so happy together, which never lasts more than a few scenes, so I'm just excited for how this is about to play out. Jesse notices that Rosalina's checking her phone with a sad look, so there's something going on, and honestly, I'm pretty terrified. She ends up walking out of the house, only for Nat to wonder where she is.
Well, I would say it's sweet and rugged and, smell it, just a hint of lime. It's a smell that says, sunny, lime sunny.
The cologne smells good on the dad, though, so it just means that it's Nat's issue with the cologne, not the cologne itself. Aw, poor Nat. Alex, on the other hand, is worried about himself becoming a man. Like, at first he's super excited. He's trying to get, like, a magnifying glass up to his face so we could tell if he's a man. And yeah, it's just ridiculous. He's so excited about it until he learns that if he's a man, Jesse won't be able to babysit him. Aw, so it's kind of sweet, but the age gap thing is still a little complicated because she's sad about the whole situation too, which is even more confusing for me. I don't understand how inappropriate this is. So yeah, they get to band rehearsal and everything seems to be like normal until Rosalina starts to act a little sketchy. Rosalina has Nat sing this song that meant a lot to her when she was younger. Apparently he wrote a song called Rosalina, and it's a really sweet, sappy ballad that he made when he was super little, and now he's just re-performing it for her. And he's gonna do it on the big TV station, which is actually kind of awesome. I love that they're bringing something back like that. So he starts to play it, only to be interrupted by this French guy.
Oh, it is the right place. I thought I must be mistaken. The music I just heard is so simple. I cannot believe this is the wonderful band you told me all about.
And it turns out to be the same French guy from the magazine in the episodes before. Oh my god, they just keep beating this plot to death, don't they? And this guy is like very obnoxious, clearly doesn't appreciate any of the band. He's like a good piano player and upstages Nat pretty quickly. It brings a lot of tension into the group because it's like, why would he be visiting her? Also, this looks like a grown man. Like maybe he's not, but still, it's uncomfortable to think that he's like hitting on Rosalina.
It's nothing, Nat. She is yours. Michel is just, how you say, guy on the side. This is all right. Michel accepts this. He is from France, after all.
He insists that she kisses him goodbye, which is so not cool. She ends up doing it, and it's like, I don't know if it works in anybody's favor. But Nat sees it, of course, and meets with this guy in the elevator, only for the doors to shut. Oh my gosh. So yeah, next thing you know, they're fighting in the elevator. Great place for a commercial break, honestly. So now there's a lot of tension. Nat is mad at Rosalina, he's mad at the French guy, and they're just trying to keep rehearsal going for this performance of the song Rosalina. And of course, Nat doesn't want to play that specific one anymore because this is complicated. So he actually acts out in a really insane way. He starts yelling at Rosalina while they're rehearsing, using all this against her.
He's made you ashamed to be in this band now.
Can we discuss this later and just rehearse this song now? Please?
Did you hear her, Cooper? We're not doing that song. All right? I don't want to embarrass her in front of her. I don't want to make her stoop so low after she played Beethoven for the King of Spain.
Fine, then just play something.
Fine. Let's play Curious.
Curious? I don't.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And like, it's kind of a little bit too much. Like, I don't think you could get away with some attitude like this in real life now. Like, this is clearly an issue, and the bandmates are backing up Nat, despite the fact he's acting pretty unfairly. He even forces her to sit down to start rehearsing a song that she has no idea how to play, and it's just so rude that he has her sit down, like, very condescending. I think I've never seen a scene worse than him kicking her out of the band and, like, playing with her right there during rehearsal. That's just, like, very toxic. And yeah, so she's super uncomfortable. He and her are at odds with each other. They fight in the stairwell, and it's very clear that she's gonna leave the band and him. Oh my gosh, this entire episode is so emotionally heightened. Maybe just because of Nat, because of Rosalina, but like, it is interesting to watch. You're like worried about the two. I'm more worried about Rosalina considering the actress, but yeah, this is starting to feel a little icky to watch.
What? What do you wish I'd be a little bit more? What? I want to hear it.
I wish you'd be a little more mature about it, that's all.
I'm too immature for you, aren't I? Because you've been around the world, and you've had all these experiences, and you play music that's too sophisticated that I couldn't write.
The homemade feel kind of like bothers me a little bit because it makes it seem more realistic than it actually is. Like, Nat even smiles at some of these shots. Like, he clearly isn't super acting, so like, seeing a real thing happen while he's not super acting is actually super confusing. Sorry I used the word super so much. That's really confusing. But yeah, the fact this entire episode almost took place completely during this band practice and how well they established it is actually really impressive from the writing perspective. The character perspective is a little controversial, but at least it kept me watching the whole time. That's a very, very good thing to do. So then we get to Naked Idol Part 2. All we know is that Rosalina is officially out of the band. Even though it was like a normal 20-minute episode, I feel like it just goes haywire at this point.
This? Oh, I do this every time I feel sad about Rosalina. You know, smelling this vile cologne that she gave me just makes me feel so glad that we broke up. Man, am I glad we
we broke up.
So yeah, they're practicing for the same performance. Nat is insistent they don't do the Rosalina song. And yeah, he just gets manic at a certain point. He starts purposely wearing this cologne, wanting to smell like dog pee. Wasn't expecting that. And the entire band's dynamic is completely different now. At first, he starts to use AI. No, I'm just kidding. He uses this thing like headgear and this electronic performance equipment, which is actually so confusing. I don't even think we have that technology like right now for live bands at least.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And yeah, they're still getting ready for Lexpo, and it seems like everybody is a little excited. They think Nat is high energy and inspired. Like, Alex and Jesse are like, wow, the energy is so creative now. But really, he's just off the walls. And that's such a good 2000s way of looking at things. Like, you could be crazy and out of control, but, like, not recognize it back at the time. So, like, people didn't assume that, like, this energy was good or bad. They just saw it.
Isn't it great how Nat's taking this whole Rosalina thing?
Yeah, it's like ending the relationship with Rosalina gave him creative energy.
So Nat keeps trying to change the band to be something that, like, reflects himself, but of course he's so manic that none of his options are even, like, working out. He's even like, let's play with a jug. Cooper takes the reins in and is like, we're gonna have a full search for a new bass player because we can't do this without Rosalina.
I can't control what you all do. If you guys want a Naked Idol competition, have a Naked Idol competition. What do I care?
Nat goes into multiple sessions where he just cannot stop crying, and I'm just starting to feel bad for him at this point. Even as an actor, to, like, cry this much on screen, I don't know what he's thinking about as a 12-year-old to, like, get this acting out. So yeah, they call it Naked Idol, which, crazy title. But it's more so an internet outreach search, and I love when they do this. Like, it reminds me of the episode of iCarly when they're, like, trying to get people to be on the show. That's kind of what happens here with all the bandmates. They rate all the online videos, they have an overwhelming amount of submissions, even a bunch of actually famous people, like Tobin Esperance from Papa Roach.
Hello, my name is David DeRosier from Simple Plan, but I've also toured with great bands such as Green Day, Gob, Good Charlotte, but I can also do this. I think I belong in the Naked Brothers band.
I don't know why they just started taking a bunch of famous people. The guy from Simple Plan, oh my lord. Yeah, then we get a bunch of interesting 2000s graphics to make this montage worth watching, and a Naked Brothers band song, which actually is kind of a cool idea. I really do like this MTV style of things. It makes the whole thing a lot more realistic. So Nat is kind of avoiding this whole process. He does not want to be involved in hiring the bass player. This disrespectful French guy comes on these submissions to tell Nat that he's still spending time with Rosalina, and it's like, oh my god, what a jerk.
Another girl like her, not in a million years. This little contest for your bass player, it will only leave you with a broken heart.
So they perform for Naked Idol with a bunch of different bass players, one by one, and some of them work out, some of them are really complicated. And of course, Rosalina is just watching this from her own bedroom crying, which I would feel horrible about. Why isn't the French guy even trying? So they find this lookalike girl that's really good and looks like Rosalina. Of course, Nat goes in on this person, and it's just starting to look a little bit sad compared to everything else. So they use her to practically replace Rosalina in every way, shape, or form. We jump back to another recording session in which Nat has to get toxic again, yeah.
Stop! Christina! You're out of time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know the song.
Oh, show it to. No, Thomas. Thomas, you just play the bass part. We can't waste the band's time.
He treats this girl horribly, which is not fair considering she just met him and he's, like, projecting everything on her. He, like, pauses the whole band and just cries again. Aw, this is like a sad Nat episode. This girl ends up comforting Nat, and you think it's about to be, like, relationship related, but it becomes a little sweet. More sweet than the actual competition of it all. She says that his song, Rosalina, the one that they played in the earlier episode, actually inspired her to get into music. So there's definitely a reason they should all be playing together. It's only all good vibes. Nat watches an old video of him performing the song, and he realizes that the song is just more important than the drama going on outside of it.
Rosalina,
Alex throws a whole party based on himself for this event, and it's like him putting out like a new fragrance, of course, and it's like the celebration of El Expo is just ridiculous. I definitely remember this part growing up. Like, why in the world is he like so conceited that he has like the father in the box and the dog in the box? Like, whatever. Nat finally comes clean to the bandmates and explains that he's been going through a lot, and really communication is the solution to this episode. Like, once he learns to talk to his friends and says he wants to be sad with them instead of, you know, just off in his own manic world, then we start to get a clear, like, through line. Like, it's clear that he's actually growing as a person, and they finally perform with this new girl having a great performance. Later, the French guy tries to comfort Rosalina, and yeah, it just goes horribly. He's just like, you're so much better than the band, even though, like, they're barely friends. Like, I don't know why this is, like, a threat to Nat and her.
I'm not gonna believe this. She wants to be back in the band.
But then Rosalina is insistent on jumping back into the band. Meanwhile, this new fake Rosalina seems like she's about to hit on Nat. I don't know why she goes into his bathroom and compliments everything he has, which is not normal for a person of the band.
I was just checking out the haul of used toothbrushes.
I can't blame you. It looks pretty fascinating.
Like, get out of his private bathroom. That would just bother me. Later, Cooper interrupts just to see that Rosalina insists on being back in the band. Oh my gosh. And that's where the episode ends. So I guess it's all about this whole competition to get Rosalina replaced, but more so the drama that Nat experiences with his friends and family and the situation. And I can't believe it ended on another cliffhanger. This is where I get confused and think it's like 2 episodes out of a 4-episode series, because the next part is supposed to be a new episode, premiere parts 1 and 2. So you're telling me we're about to jump into another 2-part special with a cliffhanger from this first 2-part special? Like, literally just put them all together and call it a movie again, like you did with Polar Bears. This whole setup for Naked Brothers Band seems to be, like, flexible in such random ways that I don't even know how to explain. The only explanations I could find are the mother talking about how the show got canceled, or, like, just didn't inevitably end up working out because the kids started to have to go to school. You know, making sense because they're 13 at this age. Like, they're outgrowing TV for sure. They should go to a normal social community, but like, it makes sense that they're grouping together all these episodes, so it probably made less shoot dates for them to interrupt their class experiences. Also explains kind of why there's like minimal sets and like not a lot going on. Like, they probably filmed Mystery Girl, used all their resources, and used these 2-part episodes to just have as simple as possible. Save their budget and make the 3rd season a good, like, send-off. But, yeah, I don't know. All around, I'm just... the only 2 normal episodes in this are a Christmas episode and a Valentine's Day episode, and yet we end on a single individual episode. It bothers me, but we're not going to talk about that right now. We're gonna go back to this.
What are you talking about?
Sports?
Yeah, you saw those sports on TV last night?
Yeah.
Premiere is the next 2-part episode right before the finale, so that's why I wanted to, like, prerequisite that. We actually start with the B-plot, which is Alex convinced that he could see the future based on his hair. And I get it, his hair is growing a little bit, but does that really mean you could see the future? Of course, Jessie has to enable this, and she's, like, super into the idea, giving him a mirror. The only thing I can call her is an enabler at this point. It's so funny, we get a shot of the cereal box in the boys' kitchen, and it has them on it, just to show that they're, like, the most popular thing in the world. I love that, honestly. Gotta have world building, even in the Naked Brothers Band world. Now, as you could recall, we just had this whole outreach all over live television to get Rosalina replaced after their big dramatic argument, and of course now she wants to be back in the band.
We go through a lot of work to replace her. Now she just waltzes back in and expects to get her place back?
There's no way we're taking her back.
Not a chance.
So it feels like we're taking off right where we left off, and it's fun because obviously Nat had a really meaningful moment with Christina, so why would he get rid of her? And yet Rosalina has a lot of history with the band, so that's also a conflict of interest. It's interesting because they find a way of like making it not necessarily about the relationship, which is good. Premiere is referring to the movie they shot at the very beginning of this season, so it's almost like the tail end of the arc, and it's very interesting because they're going to get ready to actually promote this. Cooper interrupts everything to bring in this publicist that is going to help with the whole premiere and get everybody hyped for it. And she is all business. Definitely a professional actor in a world full of these kid actors, but honestly it makes Cooper look more legitimate, so it's funny.
Gotta get the press talking about who you're bringing to the premiere. So, who are you boys involved with?
Yeah, me and Jesse are in it for the long haul.
Oh, okay.
The dad hits on her for a brief second, but she is not having it. They kind of move on from it. We get a little countdown of time. 6 days before the premiere is when this one takes place. And yeah, the publicist is insistent on all the boys having dates, and I'm talking about the boys in the band. Meanwhile, they're trying to get combat boots or like just boots with heels on them to appear taller.
Keep laughing, funny man. We'll see who gets a date first. I'm not worried. I'm naturally smooth with the ladies.
No, that's me.
And what am I?
To attract ladies, and they're so funny. They're basically like, we just became attracted to girls, why do we want to take a date? So Rosalina approaches the whole band and is like, I would love a second chance, and it's like, come on, Nat definitely betrayed you, and that's the reason you stopped being there. So I don't know why he gets to be the one to decide who's coming back. Christina is from the Bronx and likes to remind everybody, which is so funny. It kind of reminds me of Jersey Shore a little bit. She's like one of the daughters of the main cast members. That would be crazy. But yeah, so she's worried she's going to be replaced, so Nat has to kind of comfort her and be like, no, there's no way. And she says that she could beat Rosalina at the instrument anytime, and oh my gosh. Everybody kind of encourages her, and oh no, this is gonna look really bad in the future. So yeah, so this little tension starts to erupt between the two girls, and Nat is like laughing about it, but doesn't really know what to choose. He is going to screw over everybody either way, so it's kind of a hard decision.
I finally decided what to do about the Christina and Rosalina thing.
Who are you gonna dump?
Hi, guys.
I decided to keep them both.
That's when we go to 5 days before, and Nat pitches that he could just keep both. Okay, yeah, sure, Nat, that's fine, I guess. So everything seems like in a positive upswing until the publicist insists that Nat knows who he's taking to the event, which, oh my god, why in the world would we have to figure this out? Later, Rosalina starts to get a little bit jealous of the attention of the new girl, and even watches him singing about getting burned by fire, which sucks, because it's like, she barely kissed that guy, that was like not her fault, and then she was just kind of trashed by the band. Like, I really don't think this is all on Rosalina, but hey, at least it's like honest writing. So later the boys still don't have dates, and Cooper's like kind of trying to break down on them, but they all realize at the same time they want to take Christina. Oh wow, real convenient, guys, real convenient.
Me too.
Me three.
Christina.
Hey!
Whoa, I called it first.
No, you didn't. We all said it at the same time.
I don't care who called her first. I'm taking her to the premiere.
Nat spills stuff on Christina, and, you know, the two have a connection, which is kind of ridiculous. Of course, Nat has to have a connection with everybody. And yeah, so each of them try to ask out Christina, which doesn't necessarily work out. Oh my god, then Alex actually opens up a fortune-telling booth at this premiere, which why in the world would we have a booth like that? That's freaking crazy. So Rosalina finds out that this other girl was trashing her, which becomes a huge conflict of interest and makes so much tension with everybody.
Cut it out with the hair.
The hair thought you got a little too much enjoyment from the way Christina said that she could kick Rosalina's butt at base any day of the week. What?
So now we're like really worried about how the band is going to perform together. Cooper and the publicist privately scheme because they think that the director is going to ruin the film reel because he doesn't want the movie to be seen, which apparently is a common thing in Hollywood.
What better way to sabotage our New York premiere than by making the movie literally disappear?
I recently saw an episode about this in The Studio starring Seth Rogen on Apple TV. Yeah, kind of random, but this is apparently a commonplace. So the publicist insists that they hide this so that way nothing bad could happen, and spoiler alert, it does. We jump into the second part of the episode with Alex, and he's still doing this whole fortune teller thing. Luckily, he's doing it right where they hid the original film reel, which is kind of confusing to me, so the publicist is very insistent that they get the fortune teller thing moved, which I don't even know why we have it in the first place. Meanwhile, the three boys in the band are competing with each other to get with Christina, and of course it has to be such a nonsensical boring plot for them. Like, I feel bad for these guys. Every girl across America sees that Nat does not have a date, so they start to show up in random places and harass him and, like, all mosh pit outside the studio. So, you know what? If I were Nat, I'd be worried. This is where it gets really stressful for everybody.
Kristoff arranged it so all these girls that I've never met think that I'm taking them to the premiere.
Yeah, so we can ruin the buzz.
Great, great.
The tension gets worse when they're going through another practice, because I guess they have to perform at this premiere. Why can't they just not worry about it and go see the movie? Is that not possible? Rosalina and Christina start a little base-off and start making things really complicated. Girls, stop fighting, please. But it is kind of an epic battle. They're both really good.
Calm down! Now do you think you can kick my butt any day of the week? Why aren't you laughing, Nat? Seems you get so much enjoyment hearing her say it.
As everybody starts to crowd the Naked Brothers band, the director comes in disguise as an ice cream man. Okay, that's kind of sketchy and a little creepy when you think about it. So everybody kind of has trouble getting into the building, but he doesn't. He sneaks in and tries to get the film reel. He does inevitably find it too, which is crazy. Right when he's about to get away, he drops it only to find out it was a fake because, you know, Cooper and the publicist were way ahead of the situation, which I was very confused about. How do you predict something that seriously? But I guess they didn't predict that he would find out it was a fake so early, so he continues to look for it, even secretly spies on everybody in the building, which I don't understand. He's a director. He's supposed to be on these people's side, and yet he's like the biggest enemy? Come on, not fair. So he finds out that it is hidden in the fortune teller booth, and he sneaks in right when everybody's away. Oh my gosh. So yeah, it's getting to be a really complicated situation.
My film was stolen by the ice cream man! No!
We're finally on the day of the premiere in the last quarter of this whole 4-part episode, and things are only heating up. They find out that this was the ice cream man, and he has stolen the tape. So everybody's freaking out. They don't have the movie, and everything might have to be canceled. So yeah, it's too much. Nat ends up telling everybody that was like hoarded outside the building to help look for this ice cream man across New York City. And yeah, I'm sure you'll have no problem finding him pretty quickly. It's a good excuse for another 3-minute montage. Them singing Run, which is very convenient for a lot of these plot-driven stories. Like, it's just singing about running, so why not? All the girls follow Nat, which means they're not splitting up across the city, and he doesn't seem to mind, so I guess that's just how it ends up. The dad keeps trying to get with random girls, which is kind of crazy. Eventually, they do find the ice cream truck right before things look really bad, and yeah, and it's exciting, because then they have to force him to drive them all back to the premiere. Aw, that's sweet. Finally comes time to announce who Nat went on the date with, and you know, like, we're waiting for them to like leave the ice cream truck, and of course it's Victoria Justice first. Victorious of all people.
Thanks for coming, Victoria.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're finally available.
It's kind of funny though, because it's like she's not intending to do this. I can't believe she's in it for 2 seconds like this. Give her a bigger part, guys. Then Rosalina comes out, and then he's like, oh, that's also his date. And then another girl who we don't know, also his date. Turns out he's gone on with everybody. And this actually was predicted earlier. When Nat was asking Alex who he should go to the premiere with, Alex is like, everybody. And they're just like convinced that his hair is busted and he can't really see the future, which makes sense to me. I feel like that's fair.
What about, Victoria Justice?
You're going with her too.
Oh no, I'm going with her too. And I suppose I'm going with all the girls outside I've never met before.
Yeah, it turns out this fortune is extremely correct because he genuinely goes with everybody. Every girl there wants to be his date, and it's like, oh my gosh, come on guys, is this necessary? We barely get a glimpse into the movie scenes. I really am upset because I wanted to see how this movie panned out, and you know, like, I don't know, to me it's not fair that you're not letting me see this whole movie, especially with Miranda Cosgrove being a part of it. So yeah, they perform at the premiere, which I don't think is super normal for movie premieres. They just need an excuse to play. And everything is suddenly going swimmingly with the girls. Oh, thank God. Yeah, so with the celebration at the very end, I guess we forget about all the negative energy that Nat put toward this band. And I guess everybody else's energy. This all around was a very toxic situation. It's not to say that this wouldn't happen to middle schoolers. It is kind of funny the way it pans out, especially with the director plot line. Like, I did not see that coming. I didn't even know it was him for like the longest time, but you know, it makes sense in retrospect. So yeah, that was the last two-part episode of the Naked Brothers Band. And yeah, those are all the special episodes of Naked Brothers Band. Honestly, I remember most of them pretty well, and seeing Nat and Alex Wolff as like children, it's just so sweet. I feel like it's very wholesome. It gives like a very home video vibe, and yeah, these specials definitely made the show iconic as opposed to the worst episodes. If you guys haven't seen my best and worst episodes, please check that out. Until next time, everybody, don't forget to like and subscribe to Johnny 2000, and I will see you guys next time.